If you were a white belt in judo today, what are some of the things that you would prioritize to grow your judo as best as possible?
So I think judo is a very individual journey. Everybody's judo path and journey is different. And there's a 4-year-old white belt, there's an adult white belt. So I think it's different, but certain things are foundational. Knowing how to take a proper fall is something you need to know how to do. You're going to get thrown. And if you get thrown on your head too early in your career, you might say, you know what, there's better ways to spend time than this. And I don't disagree with you. So I think ukeme is super important. I just do. Now, there's different ways of teaching ukeme. Some people start throwing people really early on and you sink or swim. That's how my dad taught me to catch a baseball. He threw a hard ball as hard as he could at my face. And luckily, I learned how to catch it. So it was fine. But I think falling, I think also there's a degree of conditioning that should be involved. I think it's an activity, a sport that you need to be in some type of shape, ideally. So I think we, as you know, we spend probably a larger time. We do way less now that I've given the athletes even more control. But I think we spend quite a bit of time on warm ups. But I think that core strength, flexibility, burst, speed burst, I think that's all really important. So I'd get in shape. I'd learn how to take a fall. Technique wise, I think you need something to the front. It's usually Sanagi. A lot of people are against drop. I'm not. I'm just not, because I think if you're against drop Sanagi, you're putting yourself at a huge detriment and deficit, because if the other person's willing to do drop Sanagi, which is the most successful competition throw, and you're not, you're playing with one hand a little bit tied behind your back. But something to the front, something to the back. Osoto, a lot of people use. I love Osoto. It's a very counterable technique done incorrectly, and beginners do it incorrectly a lot. So maybe Ouchi. So something to the back, something in the front. You need to grip well, something we need to improve on in our club, something I need to improve on with my teaching. But you have to know some basics with gripping, and you have to have a little newaza, because in adult judo, as we say at the club all the time, there's 3 ways to win on the mat. And realistically, there's one, maybe two. You could outgrip the person and maybe win on penalties standing, but you still have a greater percentage of opportunity to win on the mat than standing. So you should get a couple pins. And if you're an adult, you need a submission, even though in some novice cases they don't allow it in tournaments. But yeah, I'd say forward throw, backwards throw, some gripping, good conditioning, know how to take a fall, and then newaza. And that's a great start. If you're there within a year plus, you're ahead of the game. And then just over time, you'll add to your tool belt with other, techniques. But yeah, Ocho, Soto, Sele, maybe Tayo, something like that. Really, really important. I wouldn't try to be average at 15 techniques, master of a million and or master of none. And I would try to get good at a couple things and be really proficient at those before moving forward.
Yeah, I've always heard that all black belts, it doesn't mean that you're good. It means you probably got good at one throw.
I'd be lucky if I'm good at one. I mean, I think my Tayo's decent, but my Harai was good 100 years ago. Yeah, I mean, I think belts are an interesting. That's a whole nother. We're historically under promoted as a club, which I'm
Mhm.
not against. It's not something in fact, I like the fact that our lower ranks a lot of times beat higher ranks, but people get really caught up with belts.